You're right. It's about time I did a soy sauce bottle. It's been a while. Gotta get rid of this pesky cap and let's get started. So I've done a lot of different soy sauce bottles. I started off doing abandoned cities. Then I did a couple creepy houses in like a Tim Burton style. I even did a mermaid motel complete with octopus. I did a treehouse once. And I've even done a couple bee havens. But the one thing that I haven't done is fairies. I have not made a home for fairies out of a soy sauce bottle. I've done plenty of teapots, but not a soy sauce bottle that I can think of. And hold up, watch this. Do you guys love pulling glue off of your fingers as much as I do? So satisfying. Okay, back to our soy sauce bottle for fairies. Our fairy bottle. Because I assume that fairies are not into soy sauce. Although, I don't know. Maybe they are. I figured they're more into pixie dust. Although that would be pixies and not fairies. So I don't know what fairies are into. Hopefully, they're into lots and lots of platforms because I'm going to be adding a lot of platforms to this soy sauce bottle, which I know can get repetitive. So fear not, I have transitions in my back pocket. Ready? Shake, shake. Aha, second platform down. Now on to the third one. Ready? Here it comes. Bam. Oh yeah, different type of transition this time. I got to keep it fresh. I don't know why I said it like that. Okay, but I think I got bored with doing the platforms, so I moved on to the top, and then I'm going to do this really cool platform. Hold on, it's coming. Ready? Half circle platform. What? We're getting crazy here. And then, you know, all fairies love sparkly things, or so I assume. So I added a bunch of sparkly things to the top. It's like the crown on top of the... what are we making? I guess we're making like a fairy village or a fairy castle. Or what would be the name of the inside of the castle gates? Do people live there? I mean, I know the king and queen live there, but I meant like normal people. Do they live there? Or is that just like their town square? I always thought that was weird. In movies, they always show like peasants outside of the castle, but inside the castle wall. So does the royal family own that area and they just let people sell stuff there? Do they sell stuff? I guess I don't even know. Maybe they don't. Maybe all the people there are just the servants to the castle. You know what? I'm confused. We're gonna move on. It is not important to this video at all. But look at that. I made a castle on a platform. But now for the most important addition. Circle window. Is the circle window huge? Yes, it is. Can a circle window be too big? Absolutely not. In my opinion, the bigger the better. And also, the more the better. That's why I did two. Look, 2 circle windows, which is 2 more circle windows than I currently have in my life. Someday, Ashley, someday, I'm gonna get my circle window. But I do have an announcement. I have a circle mirror now. Is it as good as a circle window? No. But hear me out. This is my evil genius plan. My husband will see it and he's going to be like, oh my gosh, you are right, Ashley, as always. And I do wish that this mirror was transparent and I could see through it right now instead of my shocked face telling you how wrong I am and you're so right. And I'll be like, aha, I told you. I will take 3. I feel like this plan could work. I think it's gonna work. You guys, stay tuned. Circle window coming. Probably. Anyways, so if you didn't notice, I added some houses to one of the platforms. So I guess I decided that these fairies do live near the royal castle inside the gates, which I didn't make gates, but I made platforms. And platforms are a lot like gates. I know you're thinking platforms aren't like gates, but hear me out. Gates keep people out, right? And platforms keep people up. And you can't just enter a platform without a ladder, or I guess wings, which I guess fairies would have. And they also have a ladder. Okay, maybe platforms aren't like gates, but if they were people, they would be. And you know what? I think like a people, so I think I get a pass on this one. Whee! Aw, look at this little platform. I'm gonna put you right here. Okay, now that we have lots of little platforms, I'm gonna work on this back wall, which isn't feeling naturey enough. And I feel like fairies are into nature, so I went with leaves. Because leaves are naturey. And I have all these leftover succulents that I made for a coffin a while ago. And I thought they matched the leaves, so I added them. Ooh, but what we're missing are mushrooms. Because you know I like a mushroom. But rather than make like a couple mushrooms, I'm gonna make a bunch of mushrooms. That way I'll have lots of mushrooms on hand. I mean, look at all these cute, adorable mushrooms. Now I won't have to make a mushroom for a really long time. And as we know, 3 is the magic number, so I'm adding 3 to this little platform. And if you were paying attention earlier, which gold star and a cookie if you were, I made this little tree. It's an adorable little fairy tree, which I painted, and now I'm cannibalizing the tree fluff from this tree to put onto my tree, because I felt like my tree wasn't fluffy enough, and fairies deserve a fluffy tree. I'm pretty sure it's fairy law written in their fairy law books. assuming fairies have law books. What else would be in a fairy law book? Maybe something about traffic rules? But what would fairies drive? Ooh, I know, butterflies. Or better yet, fireflies, because they have lights. I mean, I know they could just fly with their wings, but we can walk on our feet and we still drive cars. Okay, so any fairy caught flying at night without a lit firefly. I swear I can speak words. Any fairy caught flying without a lit firefly will be punished. Okay, but what is a good fairy punishment? How about something like fairy community service? I know, like they have to scrub fairy dust off the castle. Wait, not fairy dust, glitter. So they're the glitter crew cleanup. Say that 10 times fast. Glitter crew cleanup. Glitter crew cleanup. Glitter crew cleanup. Or maybe untangling spider webs. Because I assume that fairies and spiders kind of live in harmony. Unless spiders eat fairies, then that might be kind of dangerous and not a very good punishment. Unless, you know, the more that I think about it, the more that I would think fairies would have a really good use for spider web. I would think that would be a really good resource for rope and sticky things. I don't know. Don't spiders make silk? I'm pretty sure silk comes from spiders, right? Which don't even get me started on how that is made. I have no idea. Is there just a factory somewhere with a bunch of spiders and they're spinning silk into shirts? I don't know. It's a mystery. But anyways, what would the spiders get from the fairies in this trade-off? Except maybe untangled webs, but they could just make a new web. I don't know. Anyways, we're way off topic. Let's get back to the art. Look, I made a clock. But we need something to power our clock, and what do fairies have for power? If you said crystals, you'd be right. See, the crystals are like the AA batteries of the fairy world. Only even better because they don't run out of energy, I assume. I don't know. Anyways, you might be saying this clock is really big, but it's not a grandfather clock. It's a clock tower, and clock towers are big. Okay, but then you might be thinking, well, but that tree looks really small. And you'd be right. It's a bonsai tree, and bonsai trees are small. Are they this small? Maybe not. But we don't know if fairies have special fairy power. Maybe they can shrink stuff. And we know that they had those 2 circle windows, and circle windows are known to increase fairy powers because circle windows solve all problems. Speaking of which, do you want to see my circle mirror? There it is. Anyways, don't leave yet because I'm going to do another vase. I'm back with another soy sauce bottle, and this time somebody commissioned me to do a Wes Anderson vase. I mean, not specifically like Wes Anderson, but more like that style. And if you don't know his movies, he did Fantastic Mr. Fox, Moonrise Kingdom, The Grand Budapest Hotel, The Life Aquatic. Anyways, super stylistic movies. And I absolutely love that style. So I was really excited to try this vase. So my customer really liked the lighthouse in Moonrise Kingdom. So I'm making the base of the vase like a lighthouse structure. Only without the light, because the light would cover up the vase hole. And without a vase hole, it's not a vase. Does vase hole sound like a dirty word? You vase hole? Yeah, definitely dirty. Anyways, she also wanted me to add the treehouse from Moonrise Kingdom. And then I covered it in clay and stuccoed it all over my house. Now, it's not really looking treehousey enough, so I'm using these matches. And just so you know, they're not counterfeit matches. I lit one because that's a thing, counterfeit matches, right? Anyways, I cut off all their heads. Off with your head. And then I sided my house with matchsticks. I don't think it's a fire hazard. I mean, it can't be any worse than wood siding, right? Plus, it's a treehouse. It's not like we're gonna have electricity in it. And then I add the matches to the roof. Wait, is House of Matches a saying, or is it just House of Cards? I think it would mean that this house is like super volatile. Am I saying that word right? Volatile? Like it could explode in any minute, but not like physically explode. Like tensions are high. Anyways, if you were paying attention, unlike me, I added a tent to the bottom with some rocks. Oh, I guess I'm still adding the tent to the bottom with a platform, because if you got out of this tent, you would just fall down the cliff, and that sounds like a lawsuit. I mean, imagine if you sleptwalked. Man, sleepwalking in the wild is way more dangerous. And hold up, watch me put some clay around my vase hole. I just wanted to say vase hole again. Okay, so back to the sleepwalking thing. If you sleepwalked in the wild, you'd have to worry about bears or lakes or cliffs. I mean, we must have evolved to sleepwalk, because I don't think any other animal does it. It sounds like a death sentence. I mean, imagine a mouse sleepwalking in your house and you have cats. That's like a midnight snack to your cat. Anyways, I got way off track. And oh man, one of these broke. That's okay, I can fix it. I just covered it in clay. But I didn't want it to feel singled out, so I covered the rest of them in clay too. There, you'd never know that one of them broke. Shh, don't tell anyone, it'll be our secret. All right, I'm just adding some paint details. And then I put in these pink bricks. But they can't be all the same color because that's boring. And here comes Emily to drink my paint water. Right. What is it with cats and paint water? Like, I literally cannot keep her away. You have a perfectly good bowl of water on the floor. Go drink that. Well, I guess she's just gonna be here now. And stop. Are you biting it? Stop it. I think I figured out how that one broke. Stupid cat. Okay, moving on. Let's add some more paint. And then I wiped off some of the paint to make it look like wood. And then I added little wood windows. And then we're still missing our ladder, so I'm just making that. But I feel like this video is getting really long, so I'm gonna speed through the rest. Quickly, I made these trees. I spray painted the trees. I put green clay on the trees to make leaves. Emily came in to make sure I wasn't making food. She had to check a couple times. Oh, back for some more. And there are my trees. And there they are attached, but that's really ugly. So I covered it in clay because what can't clay fix? And then I covered that clay with, hey, Emily, get out of the way. Why? Don't you have somewhere else to be? Anyways, before I was rudely interrupted, I put some leaves on the bottom, along with some other foliage. But these supports on the top are still missing a fencing, a rung, you know, the thing that keep you from falling out. Look, I'm not a dictionary. I don't know words and stuff. But unfortunately, I didn't have any orange wire. So I had to use my daughter's nail polish. Luckily, she had orange because orange is her favorite color. Well, that and rainbow, obviously. I mean, whose favorite color is not rainbow? And there, it looks pretty good. And I thought it was still missing something, so I made these little mushrooms. Because if you know anything about me, you know that I love mushrooms. Don't worry, I secured them better with clay. See, they're not going anywhere. And then I covered the whole thing in epoxy because sometimes paint doesn't want to stick to this clay. And there she is, all complete. Let me just add the flower and hold it up to my face. And then Edgar needed to see it. And then Emily needed to make sure that there weren't treats in it. And then, oh yeah, the mushrooms glow in the dark. I know it's not as complex as I usually do. I wanted to keep it simple to try to capture the style better, which strangely made it more difficult to make. But anyways, what do you guys think?